sports, politics, life. 360 Document Solutions presents Kevin Keatsman Has Issues online at 360documentsolutions.com.
A very happy Thanksgiving to all of you, and hope you're looking forward to the holiday on Thursday, where we're undoubtedly going to mix in some great food, some wonderful family memories, and some football in a great American tradition. And we trust that you'll be a little bit like our house. We will not be discussing politics on Thanksgiving Day. I do not believe it will come up unless my son, he has moments where he tries to poke the bear with a stick, unless he tries to bring something up, but I will try to divert that or walk away from that at all cost. We are pretty much across the board, 13 of us, pretty like-minded. We got a couple of people that aren't, maybe a little, I don't know, but it's just best if it doesn't come up. Has no business on Thanksgiving Day, so we will not be doing that. We'll be focusing in on everyone's lives, how things are going. We will be thankful to our Creator for our good health and good fortune as we gather as a family and celebrate a holiday together, and we will watch football. There will be football on everywhere, and I think there will be World Cup on as well, because my daughter's boyfriend really likes the World Cup, so I got to find a screen for him to watch some soccer while all this is going on. It should be a fun, fun day. Of course, the weekend will be highlighted by the Chiefs and Rams on Sunday at Arrowhead Stadium, a 3:25 kick. And I was thinking about how to describe this game and this season as the Chiefs sit at 8-2. I was reminded yesterday by a friend that the Chiefs' Vegas win total over-under for the season was 10.5. In other words, did you think the Chiefs would be able to win 11 games? And I've sort of forgotten, although I remind everybody at the beginning of the year, it's silly to go through the schedule and say win, loss, win, 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 and try to figure out how many games the team's going to win, because you never know who's going to be good in the NFL. This week is the classic example of that. The Super Bowl champions were coming to Arrowhead. It looked like a huge game, and the last time they played was 54-51 in L.A. It was one of the epic games of all time. This looked like a monster game on the schedule, and the Rams are absolutely dreadful. More on them in a moment, but they're terrible. They're in last place. They're 3-7, and they can't score points. And it sort of occurred to me that as the Chiefs are rolling at 8-2, and now everyone's favorite to make it to the Super Bowl and be the 1 seed in the AFC, if we look back, the mistake we made wasn't trying to go through the schedule and say win, loss, win, 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 and try to figure out a win total or how many games the Chiefs would win. The mistake everybody made was thinking the Chiefs' schedule was absolute murder. Remember, when the season started, it was believed 3 teams from the AFC West would make the playoffs. Now it looks like the AFC East is the division that could have 3 teams, not the AFC West. The Chiefs are running away with this division. It's pretty much locked up before Thanksgiving, and they haven't even played the Broncos yet, who are terrible. So they've got 3 games left in the division that are not tough opponents. They've got the Rams coming in at 3-7, one of the worst teams in the league right now. And that's where maybe we all went wrong. I love that about the NFL. You can't judge a season prior to the season based on a schedule. You can only look at your team and say, look, we knew the Chiefs were going to be good. And we're all sick and tired of hearing about number 10 being gone. I'm not even going to say his name. We saw the replacements come in. We knew that they'd figure this out. We knew that as the season went on, more and more new weapons would be deployed by the Chiefs. Isaiah Pacheco has become that latest weapon. He's now the number 1 running back on the team. In the last 2 games, very quietly, Pacheco has 31 carries for 189 yards. That is 6.1 yards per carry. This team is getting better. It's finding a running game. Patrick Mahomes is looking for jerseys. He's not looking for a guy. Now, when he gets number 87 in man coverage, he's going to throw to 87. But most of the game when Patrick Mahomes is back passing now, he's just looking for a red jersey. He's seeing the field. They got a million different options. 2 receivers out last week. Hardman and Schuster were out of the game. Didn't matter. New guys step up. Everybody makes plays. It's a remarkable football team. Sometimes it looks too easy. The Chiefs are a 14.5-point favorite this week over the Rams. Is it this easy? Is this game this week this easy for the Chiefs? Travis Kelce just named Offensive Player of the Week. Now he's going to go up against a Rams defense that's pretty good. It's not great like it was a couple of years ago. Matthew Stafford's in concussion protocol, so their Super Bowl winning quarterback is not likely to play on Sunday, although they have not ruled that out yet at this point. John Wolford is the backup. He's had a neck injury and was out, but he may be back. He's progressing nicely, they say. If not, it'll be Bryce Perkins. You heard of these guys? John Wolford or Bryce Perkins is going to be quarterbacking for the Rams at Arrowhead against the Chiefs at 3:25 on Sunday. This looks too easy. I hope the Chiefs aren't paying attention to that, because when they play focused, games can be easy for the Chiefs. This one just should be easy. We know the Chiefs can score. We know the Rams can't score. The Rams are averaging 16 points a game. That is 29th in the NFL out of 32 teams. They've only scored 20 points this year twice in 10 games. So they literally score right about 16 or 17 points a game. That's what they do. Never more, never less. Okay, let's write them down for 17. Heck, let's write them down for 20 right now, which I'm not sure they'll get there with Bryce Perkins or John Wolford at quarterback, but let's put them down for 20. Come on, what are the odds the Chiefs are going to score 3 touchdowns or more? Pretty darn good. You got to love this game for the Chiefs. We'll get Lee Sterling's thoughts coming up in just a bit, as he will join us for the pick segment. We also have a lot of college football on this holiday weekend. KU K-State is Saturday night. It's the biggest game in the area. Kansas State, with a win, is in the Big 12 championship game. They could actually be qualified for the Big 12 championship game prior to kickoff should Baylor beat Texas on Friday. But Kansas State locked in on their game, locked in on the season. It's a big game. Will Howard's the new starter for Kansas State, and you have to like them over the Jayhawks, whose defense has just been giving up points at an incredible rate. And yardage. It's not fluky points. It's yardage. It's just big play after big play against this KU defense. A report out on Tuesday night is that Lance Leipold and the University of Kansas have agreed to an extension of his contract through 2029, which would obviously come with a hefty pay raise. He's making about $2.5 million a year at Kansas. I would think that's probably going up to $4 million a year, and the contract extension to 2029 to keep all suitors away. And I think this is a good move by Lance Leipold. I think bolting for Nebraska is going backwards. I think you can get to 8-4 at Kansas and be a hero and do that over the course of 15 years. He's 58 years old. Maybe do it over the course of 10 or 15 years and just be a god in KU athletics. If you could go average 7 or 8 wins a game. They're not asking you to win the national title. They're asking you to be competitive in a new conference and maybe play for a conference title here or there. That would be an unbelievable standard for Kansas to reach. Lance Leipold seems to be that guy. I like that more and more coaches are finding positions and saying, no, the grass isn't greener somewhere else. Because to be perfectly clear about this, the Kansas job right now for Lance Leipold is a better job than the Nebraska job. You don't want that pressure. You don't want that league. You don't want to change everything and start over. You're building this thing up. It's looking good. This is the place for Lance Leipold. Wisconsin's not the place for him. It's the same thing with Chris Kleiman. His name gets mentioned with jobs. He's got it great at Kansas State. He's got a generational quarterback coming in next year, a guy that they believe is a surefire NFL player. I mean, an absolute stud. There is no reason for Chris Kleiman to be looking anywhere else. He's playing for the Big 12 title here. What's he going to do? Go to Nebraska or Wisconsin and think he's going to be better than Michigan and Ohio State? No, these are good jobs now. These are really good jobs in the Big 12 at KU and K-State. And if Kansas continues to get better, we may see more competitive games on the field. I don't think Saturday night's game will be that way. I like the Cats by 20 in this one. I just don't think KU can slow Kansas State down. I don't see how they keep K-State under 42 points. And I don't see how they score over 42 against K-State's defense. But we'll see. Jalen Daniels may make a big step this week. He was obviously rusty in his first game back last week. His second game back, generally better. We'll see what he has on Saturday night. Friday afternoon, Missouri and Arkansas play. It's the battle line game. Arkansas's never won in Columbia, Missouri before. KJ Jefferson is back and healthy at quarterback for the Razorbacks, and he's good, and he's been tough on Mizzou the last 2 years. He's been very good against the Tigers the last 2 years. And while bowl eligibility is on the line for Missouri, Arkansas reached that last week. Eli Drinkwitz is saying that's not on our minds. The only thing on our minds this week is that trophy. We play for that trophy. We play Arkansas, a rivalry game, for that trophy. That's what they want in Columbia, is that trophy. Missouri's defense is better this year than it's been the last couple of years, so we'll see if they can slow Jefferson and the Hogs down in this one. Good national television exposure for Columbia, Missouri, for the University of Missouri, for the Missouri Tigers. It's what they call Trophy Week at Ole Mizzou, and I undoubtedly will be watching. KKHI is brought to you by AmazingGarageFloors.net. Hutch reached out to me and said, hey, here's an idea. If you would like to start a business, or you know somebody that wants to start a business in Springfield or St. Louis, Amazing Garage Floors is expanding there, and they will set you up as the franchisee. He will teach you, train you. This business is flourishing in a lot of places, not just Kansas City. Amazing Garage Floors is an absolute winner of a business opportunity for you in either Springfield, Missouri, or St. Louis. If you would like to have the franchise there, John Hutchins is your guy. He'll teach you everything from start to finish on how to own and operate your own successful business. Work for yourself with Amazing Garage Floors. Just call Hutch at 913-901-7139. This is a great business for a young person, too. Young dude starting out in his 20s. Maybe some of you have a son or a grandson or something, not trying to figure out what to do. This is a relatively simple business model to run, and it's good work. It's just a really good, solid, winning business. And if you're available to do it in Springfield or St. Louis, John Hutchins wants to hear from you. 913-901-7139. Jocelyn's Jewelry. Hey, we got a couple of Black Friday specials here. There's always something good. Mention the podcast when you go into Jocelyn's this holiday weekend and see what kind of good stuff they have for you. There's always some sort of a Black Friday thing going on. They'll clean your jewelry while you wait if you want to go shopping. Jocelyn's Jewelry, 95th and Antioch. You know where they are. It's the jeweler you'll recommend to your friends and family. Say hello to Cameron when you go in there. He's there every day. Gary will be in, I think, on Saturday. If you want to go shopping on Saturday after Black Friday, Jocelyn's Jewelry, 95th and Antioch, online at joslinsjewelry.com. And my friends at B-Stock, they are rocking for Black Friday. They've got laptops, all under $500. Dozens of different models, hundreds of units, all ready to move right now for Black Friday at B-Stock, 14680 South Flaming Road. They also have all Sony televisions sold at cost this week. Through the weekend, at cost. They'll show you the invoice, exactly what they paid to bring them in, and they're yours. They don't make a nickel on this. That's exclusive to KKHI listeners. Go in, mention the podcast, and get your Sony television at cost. Wonderful stuff. Appreciate what they do at bstock.net, 14680 South Flaming Road. We also appreciate what Lee Sterling does. He is awesome, and he's here with some holiday picks for us in the football picks. Hit it.
The KK Has Issues conversation is presented by Roberts Robinson Chevrolet Buick GMC. Shop, click, drive at robertsrobinson.com.
Gobble, gobble, it's time to talk turkey with our man Lee Sterling from ParamountSports.com. It's his world-famous turkey shootout this weekend. 15 games for one low price. Coming off a big week where he hit his college football underdog of the year, a 45-unit play, was Duke last Saturday, and that's a winner.
Yep.
He is now 4-1 on his biggest plays this year. Hello, Lee. How are you?
I'm great. Couldn't be better. My daughter's on her way in within an hour of landing, so excited about that. Going to have full house. Going to have 19 at the house for Thanksgiving. Normally we're in the 30s, but my brother and his wife and 4 boys and all their girlfriends, they're having it up there. So they're going to be up there. We're going to enjoy Thanksgiving. And then on Saturday, we actually rented a box at the Florida Panthers game. We're going to go to the Florida Panthers game, and that way my mom can see all her grandchildren together, and kids won't be complaining, get to watch some sports and eating and having fun.
Man, that sounds great. That really, really sounds
Yep.
great. We have 13 coming, and it may get pared down to 9 as Jessica's brother has a daughter that's not well today. So we'll just have to see how that goes on Thursday. So we're not really sure if they're coming or not. There may be a lot of leftovers. I may just be shipping you some stuff, buddy. I don't if we have 4 that don't show, because I'm pretty sure she's cooking for like 20, and we only have 13, and 2 of them are little girls. And then if they don't show, we're going to have all kinds of food left. It's going to be crazy.
I love leftovers.
Yeah.
I mean, I can heat up turkey and gravy, and my favorite is sweet potato pie.
Really?
You like sweet potato pie?
I don't, but Jessica's making it. She puts the marshmallows on top, the whole deal. Yeah.
You're not a sweet potato pie guy?
No.
With the marshmallows on top?
We're going to have apple pie as well. I'll have that with ice cream on it.
Well, that's dessert. I mean, we go with. I mean, if you're on Twitter, check about 6:30 on Thanksgiving Day. We have the pie. Remember the pie judging contest? My oldest is making a banana cream pie.
Oh my!
And it's won 4 of the last 5 years. My youngest, she makes the blueberry pie or huckleberry pie, and then we have a key lime pie. One of my nieces is going to bake a key lime pie, and we're going to throw that in there. So 3 pies. My 2 daughters are not happy about a third pie being, thrown into the mix, but Just a spoiler alert, if anyone has been following it the last couple of years, there'll be 3 pies judged. And,
I will retweet
no
you.
ties.
I will retweet you,
No
and
ties.
then I will put a picture of our pies on Twitter as well.
Okay. How many pies you got?
I know she's doing apple and cherry, for sure.
Okay.
And so
No pumpkin?
I saw her buy the pumpkin pie stuff, but I don't know. I have not heard that.
Okay.
She might make 3 or 4 of them, but they'll all be Jessica's. I mean, whatever she's making, they're all going to be hers.
Okay.
So, but my mom has to have
Sounds
cherry,
good.
and Jessica and I like apple. So I know we're having those
Right.
too. My mom just loves cherry pie. That's just her favorite thing in the world. So.
I love dessert.
Yeah,
and
right.
you put ice cream. You put vanilla bean ice cream on top of it,
Absolutely.
right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
And my mom's really particular about that. That's what she's bringing. She's like, I will bring the ice cream to top the pies. She doesn't want any kind of low-fat yogurty stuff. She's going to get the good stuff.
Right.
Man.
You got to go with the best, the very best. So.
For sure. And we have 2 buckets
I
of
love
Cool
it. I
Whip,
just
too.
sit in my seat.
Yeah.
I sit in my seat in the man cave, and the only time I leave is to go to the kitchen to get a refill. Bye.
That just sounds spectacular, buddy. All the best to you and your family this holiday. It's going to be great.
You too.
All right, let's talk about some sports here. You've got a turkey shootout.
Yep.
You've done this every year. It's 15 games this weekend for $97.
Yep. And we've had some 13-2 and 12-3 records the last 5 years. So what a year. We won 12 out of 15 weeks. It's been one of the best years ever. Anyone wants to get involved, this is the week. Last week, we had the Baker's Dozen hit on the big game with Duke on the college football upset special of the year. And now we have our college football blowout special. It's a game where a team is favored by more than a touchdown. I think they're going to win by 4 or 5 touchdowns. So anyone wants to get involved, it is 15 games from Thursday all the way through Sunday night. And as soon as you purchase it, a window pops open. I mean, we enjoy all the people that are coming to our Thanksgiving. But if you're going, someplace and you're not as excited about going, you can get it right now. And this way you can put in your bets right now. So it's an instant download, ParamountSports.com, 15 games, turkey shootout, ParamountSports.com.
Okay, so a reminder, Lee is 4-1 this year on his 45 to 50 unit plays. Those are the biggest plays he has, and he has a 45 unit play this week. It's his blowout special, and it's included in the turkey shootout, right? So it's in there with the 15.
It is.
Beautiful.
It is included.
Dude, far be it from me to tell you how to run your business. You hit this one and go 5-1 on your big plays. I mean, you may not want to do any more big plays this year. You're so hot on these things, you might just want to say, that's it. I got them. But I love your big plays.
Yeah, but some people are they're scared. When you're seeing things great, I'm excited. I want to come into work. I'm working sometimes till 2, 3 in the morning. When you're losing, it's no fun. You start doubting yourself. We're playing with profits. So, if you wanted to buy, that car and you want to put a nice down payment, or you want to take a nice vacation for you, your loved ones, or family, now's the time. Let's keep playing with profit.
Let's do it. All right, let's start in college here, and we'll start with Ohio State and Michigan in a major contest in the Big Ten.
So weather is a factor, number one, and I just checked the weather right now. Now, there will be some rain on Saturday, but it's supposed to come in about 7, 8 o'clock. So this game is being played early, 12 noon Eastern, 11 o'clock your time, low 50s, and it's clear. If it was raining, I think it would favor Michigan. But right now, with it being clear, I think it favors Ohio State. Now, both of the top 2 running backs on both teams are injured. 2, 3, or 4 could play here. Blake Corum is the one you need to be worried about. Blake Corum for Michigan is the home run hitter, the best of the 4. And these are all really good running backs, but he's the guy that stirs the drink. If he's not 100%, and I think he's only about maybe 80, 85%, even if he plays, that's a problem for Michigan. If Ohio State and C.J. Stroud, their quarterback, who's thrown for 35 touchdowns, just 4 interceptions, if he gets hot, they get a double-digit lead. I think it's going to be really tough for Michigan to catch up. I mean, I think J.J. McCarthy's fine. He has 14 touchdowns, just 2 interceptions, but he's not dynamic, not a great runner. They don't throw too many balls down the field for big gains here. So home field for Ohio State, revenge for Ohio State. They've won 7 of the last 8 until they got upset last year. I'm going with Ohio State, 34-24.
All right, in the SEC, Missouri and Arkansas play on national TV on Friday. Arkansas became bowl eligible last week. Missouri is trying to get win number 6 this week and basically save a season that's been really disappointing. Arkansas is a 4.5-point favorite.
One of the biggest surprises this year has to be this Missouri defense. I mean, they've always had a pretty good offense. They've found a running back, but defense, I mean, they were maybe one of the worst 4 or 5 defenses last year in college football, and they might be one of the top 20, 25 here. So the Razorbacks, I think, might relax here. They got win number 6 last week against Ole Miss in their home final. So they're breathing, a lot easier. They go on the road to Missouri here, and I just think that this Missouri team is going to play hard here, and I think they're going to be able to run the football on Arkansas. I think their passing game is better here. At home, trying to get to a bowl, I'm all over Missouri. Wrong team favored Missouri outright 27-20.
I like that. Missouri Tiger fans will take that too and head to a bowl game. Possibly there's rumors of playing in Memphis against KU. KU-MU would be a very interesting bowl game. That'd be pretty cool.
That would be.
All right, in the Big 12, TCU is undefeated, and they're trying to get in that college football playoff. The general profile, I've said it this way, Lee, is TCU, Kansas State, Baylor, teams like that. We've seen them get to this point where they're 11-0. They never seem to make it to the playoff. They always either trip up in this game or lose the title game. I don't feel great about TCU winning this week and next. I just don't, because the profile in this league is the only team that ever makes it is Oklahoma, and TCU is in Oklahoma. But it doesn't look like it's going to be this week. They've got Iowa State. Will this be any game at all?
I don't think so. I mean, last week I thought Baylor had a really good game plan out of the gate. They decided we're gonna run this ball right down TCU's throat, and we're gonna tell them we mean business. And boy, did they look good in that first drive. 76 yards, 8 runs, 2 passes. They took up almost 6 minutes, and they played hard, but they ran out of gas. And this TCU team is something special. I do think they're probably going to lose to Kansas State if Kansas State gets into the championship game. But right now, this Iowa State, I'm watching Hunter Deckers, and every single week practically, he throws into coverage, having trouble reading defenses, and he throws the ball late. If they want to go anywhere next year, they're probably going to have to make a change at quarterback. So I think he's cost them 4 or 5 games here. I think this TCU team here with Max Duggan, they just find ways to win, and they have more playmakers here. Sometimes you got to lay it if you want to play it. TCU 31-14.
Kansas State coach Chris Kleiman said this week it is Will Howard's football team. They got a new starting quarterback. The games he started, they've averaged. You said it was time.
Oh, last year. I mean, you said it was time. 3 or 4 games ago, right?
Yeah, I've been saying it. Yes, what I don't understand, Lee, is why you bring in a 24-year-old 6-year quarterback that can't practice in the spring because he's hurt, and ask him to be the leader and the captain of your football team. It doesn't work like that. The kid that's been there in the weight room with all these other teammates for 3 years is the guy they look to. And I just think it was a big mistake, and I wonder what this season could have been if Will Howard played all year. But he's playing now, and Kansas isn't stopping anybody, or the Wildcats going to run up the scoreboard.
So I thought, being completely honest with you, that Will Howard was not the guy. I just didn't see it last year. So I give him credit. What now?
I agree with that. This is like the biggest surprise in K-State history that this kid is this good.
I'm floored. And usually I'm pretty good at, the kid must have worked hard. And sometimes all of a sudden the green light goes on. All of a sudden they're reading defenses. He's got confidence. He's not playing scared. And the kid he has the it factor. And I would not want to go against them right now. So I think the bloom is off this Kansas football team. They have been doubled up, 98-42 point deficit the last 2 games. They're getting run on. I mean, teams are running for 200, 300, 400 yards against them. I mean, Bijan Robinson for Texas is probably still running after last week. And how good has Kansas State been the last 3 years? 27-11-1 against the spread. So they're coming up with big plays. And on defense, number 4 in turnover margin here. I think Kansas State doubles up Kansas 48-24.
All right, let's go to I'll take that, by the way. We'll go to the NFL here, and the Buffalo Bills at Detroit on a Thanksgiving Day special. The Bills are a 9.5-point favorite. Do they win back-to-back games in Detroit?
I think they might win. But I think this is, and I haven't taken Detroit too many times. That's why I'm still in business for Thanksgiving. I think they're 3-15 the last 18 games. So I mean, they have been historically bad on Thanksgiving. So it's been a great Thanksgiving for me going against them. But some things have changed. So the whole attitude there is number one, and they're finding ways to win now. So are they the most talented team on defense? No, but they're not giving up here. I think the biggest change in Buffalo, I think their defense has got problems. So been some injuries on the back end, even on the defensive line, but this is not the same defense as last year. Also, where's Gabe Davis? I mean, this guy, you remember him against Kansas City. Didn't you think he might be a top 10 receiver after watching him in the playoff game?
For sure.
He's been totally, he's been almost invisible the last 4 or 5 weeks. So the Bills had to go to Detroit. They decided not to stay there. They went back home to Buffalo, going back to Detroit. I know it's in the same time zone, but that has to wear on you a little bit. I think they're peeking ahead. The next 3 games are against AFC rivals, the Patriots, Jets, and Dolphins. On deck, double deck, and triple deck. I think Buffalo escapes 38-34, but I'm taking Detroit for maybe the first time in a decade, plus the 9.5 points.
There you go. All right. Fox is sending its number 1 broadcast team to Kansas City for the Rams and Chiefs, which it's a 14-point line. We don't think Matthew Stafford's going to play. We're not sure if the backup is healthy. He had a neck injury last week. I've never even heard of these quarterbacks, John Wolford and Bryce Perkins. Yep. I don't get it. The Rams' offense is horrendous. I mean, something's wrong here. This looks too easy for Kansas City. This was supposed to be one of the hardest games on the schedule.
John Wolford was average. I think he was in the AFL, one of those, or the XFL a couple of years ago, average. And I think the line's just telling it. Matthew Stafford's not playing in this game. And no Cooper Kupp here. I mean, their second and third receivers, when Kupp was in there, these are guys that they don't even make most rosters. I'm being honest with you. This is talent-deficient offense. Their offensive line, bottom 2, bottom 3, they just cut their leading rusher here. I thought they were going to trade or cut Akers. They kept him. I mean, this is a team that won the Super Bowl. When you looked at the schedule, I thought this was going to be maybe the greatest game of the year. So the Rams, 30th in scoring this year. They're only averaging 16 points the last 4 weeks. I think they're going to have trouble scoring double digits in this game here. Kansas City, the leading scoring team in the NFL here. I know they're 3-3, laying 14 or more points, but I think this is a romper room special here. Kansas City, 42-13.
All right, Lee's game of the week. If you want to get it absolutely free by calling 800-400-9741 is Miami and Houston in the NFL. You see something in this one you like?
Oh, I do. And let me tell you something. Last time Houston came to Miami, they were a double-digit dog. The last time Miami was favored by this much, double digits, they ended up beating Miami outright. So will this be another close game? Or does Houston pull the upset? Or Miami with San Francisco on deck, do they finally get a rout? You want to get this game for free? Call 800-400-9741. We'll give you this game for free. What a roll we've been on. 12 out of 15 winning weeks. And like I said, it's our college football blowout special of the year. 45-unit best bet release. You already mentioned it. We're already 4-1 on these games, looking to go up to 5-1. And on our 40 to 50-unit selections, last 12 years, 55-19. So you want to hop on board. Turkey shootout, not 12, not 13, 15 games from Thursday all the way through Sunday night. And the game that we have, like I said, the college football game of the year, goes on Saturday, just $97, one place, ParamountSports.com. And Kevin, I want to wish you, your family, all the listeners out there, a happy, healthy, and safe Thanksgiving Day and weekend.
You too, buddy. All the best to you and your family, and I can't wait to exchange pie pictures on Twitter on Thursday. Count me in.
Okay. I'll be sending them right back at you. All right, Kevin?
Thank you, Lee. Take care. There is Lee Sterling. He is the man. National Handicap Champion, ParamountSports.com. You heard it, 15 games, $97, 4 days of fun. Jump on board just for the weekend, see how it goes. He's got a blowout special of the year in a college football game. He is 4-1 in his biggest plays this year. Go get it. and find out what that game is and see if you agree with Lee Sterling on his picks and see if you can't make a little bank this holiday weekend. 800-400-9741 or online at ParamountSports.com. He's a good man, and he loves his family, and you heard it. He's going to have a really, really big gathering there in Miami for Thanksgiving, and I can't wait to see those pie pictures. We'll be trading pie pictures. If you're on Twitter, send me your pie pictures this Thanksgiving. Not the bird, not the gravy, not the spuds. The pie pictures. Put those out there on Twitter, and I'll retweet you this weekend. Give that a shot. Lee Sterling's appearance on KKHI is brought to you by Cross Kitchens KC, online at crosskitchenskc.com. You know, you're going to be gathering in your kitchen, and a remodeled kitchen can be wonderful for any home. And it really isn't like spending money because it adds so much value to your home. Sit down with Tim and his team at Cross Kitchens KC and see what plan they have for you, whether it's that or remodeling a bathroom or maybe a man cave. CrossKitchensKC.com. North Kansas City Dental, Dr. Bill Bush is an award-winning dentist. He speaks all over the country about high-tech dentistry. He is really good. If he's good enough to be Patrick Mahomes' dentist, he's good enough to be yours. Why don't you schedule your appointment at nkcdental.com or call 816-471-2911. Offices in North Kansas City and Westwood, Kansas. It's North Kansas City Dental. And my buddy Ron Buck over at Buck Roofing, anywhere in the Midwest. He can fix your roof. He can repair your roof. He can replace your roof. If you'd like to get a free roof inspection, just call Ron at 913-384-2680, and they'll shoot right out and take a look at your roof before winter hits and see what it looks like. Make sure you're going to be okay when we start getting all that snow and ice and stuff. And, of course, they're available 24/7 for emergencies. Online at rbuckroofing.com. Sleep well knowing Buck Roofing fixed the roof over your head. And I concur with Lee and wish you, everyone that listens to this podcast, every sponsor, every listener, every person involved in any way, shape, or form, the very best Thanksgiving Day. We will not be putting a podcast up on Thanksgiving Day, but we'll be back with one on Friday with a very interesting interview of a listener of the podcast who's written a book. And I think you're going to find this to be very, very fascinating and maybe a decent gift idea for the holiday season to purchase this book for yourself or for someone else. I think it's a pretty cool story. I think you're going to really enjoy that one. We'll be putting that one up on Black Friday for you. In the meantime, have a wonderful holiday with your family. Make some memories with your family and your friends. And thanks so much for listening to Kevin Kietzman Has Issues.
Thanks for listening to Kevin Kietzman Has Issues, presented by Roberts Robinson Chevrolet Buick GMC. To get exclusive patrons-only podcasts, receive a weekly newsletter, and attend in-person patrons-only parties, visit kkhasissues.com and become a patron today. This has been a production of Crooked Tail Media Incorporated.